Sagittarius, it is time to break the cycle of falling into the exact same relational traps and clear the way for the real substance of relationship that you deserve. Let's dive into what that means for your horoscope this week. This video is a forecast for your sun, moon, and rising sign. Do check out all three videos because they will all give you some information about what is coming up in the week ahead for you. They're going to tell you how the stars are going to affect your life this week. I'm Kesenya, and welcome to the Astro News and Weather for the first week of July 2026. And don't forget, my friends, this is tropical Vedic astrology, not sidereal astrology. Do look it up if you need to know the difference. And yes, I am a real person, not AI. So this week we are looking at the 4th of July. Happy anniversary to the USA. On the 4th of July, it's a biggie. Gotta say, get ready with your fireworks celebrations. It could really all go off in a very literal sense of the word. Mars will conjunct Uranus on the 4th of July. Last time they were conjunct, it was on top of the head of the Gorgon Algol, the fixed star. And now it's square to the nodes of the moon. Oh, yikes. Get ready. Here we go. This is when the volcano explodes, literally and figuratively. You know, we can expect large-scale Earth events when these two planets, Mars and Uranus, come together, and we can expect big rumbles to be felt in our own life as well. Forewarned, forearmed, my friends. But in the positive, this is the energy to use to break out of limiting situations in your life. If you hungered for change, if you're longing for excitement to spice up your life like a Spice Girl, it's now coming in by the truckload. Taking a risk might have a great appeal for you at this time, but be forewarned, it really isn't the wisest time to jump in boots and all, even if you want to. By all means, follow your passions, follow your desires, but with a healthy dose of sensibility, moderation, self-control, and groundedness, my friends. As some have said, there is a narrow path between recklessness and opportunity at this time. So what we can do is direct this energy to its best advantage by creating change in our own life of our own volition. And that way we reduce the risk of unexpected events coming in and shocking the life out of us at this time, okay? So what could we do? We could change our doona cover. We could change our route to work, go some way we've never gone before. We change what we eat for breakfast. Just doing those little things in our everyday life to change things completely could spare ourselves the rug being pulled out from under us in big ways. Forewarned, forearmed, use that piece of advice to your best advantage, my friends. But also you can embrace your crazy now under this energy. Why not? It's the 4th of July. Get wild with your clothing choices. Hello. Experiment with your look. Get a little kinky in the bedroom, you know. It's all good, man, when these two tango like they do this week. Now, firstly, about the conjunction of Mars and Uranus, which occurs every 2 years. This is not a completely unexpected energy. It does happen regularly. Those who follow astrology closely know that Mars and Uranus together bring these impactful Earth events that I spoke about, not least of which is volcanic eruptions and earthquakes. These are powerful times. Now, of course, there are other astronomical and astrological alignments that can trigger Earth events. This isn't the only one, but it's pretty dependable every 2 years. Where it's going to happen on the Earth, though, is anybody's guess, really. As above, so below. What is the symbology of Mars, Uranus, and wildcard Earth events that we can apply to our lives? Let's list a few. Surprises, shocks, breaking out, breaking free, restlessness, agitation, fast changes, not slow, just blink of an eye kind of changes in life, erratic energy, feeling forceful or aggressive, more intensity than we can actually control with this energy, spontaneous, rash, impulsive, rebellious, explosive. These are all words that correlate to this energy. Fights, accidents, bluntness, insensitivity. one or more of these things may be what is manifesting in your life because of the Mars-Uranus conjunction. And what about the Mars skip step that is forming? We've already had the skip step with Uranus a couple of weeks ago. Now, here we go with the Mars skip step. Check out the video for the Uranus skip step energy if you need to. It still applies. It's still in action. But let's take a look at Mars now. There is a critical lesson or action that you've been repeatedly avoiding that this square to the nodes by Mars is going to force you to look at. And that might mean having to face a personal block with your courage, with your boundaries, with self-assertion. There might be an intense underlying feeling that you're experiencing now of being stuck and a sense of urgency that you can't quite put your finger on. Like, I know I need to change. I know I want to change. How do I do it? This can be very, very much at the surface now, and it can lead to irritability if that energy isn't channeled constructively. There's a deep questioning that we may have of our own desires at this time too. We may oscillate between feeling intensely driven to pursue a goal and feeling entirely paralyzed because, well, what if this, what if that? We doubt. There can be heightened potential for power struggles, arguments, confrontations as we try to assert our independence individually and sometimes as a collective as well against the external limitations that want to hold us back. It is a fractious energy. There might be a tendency to take sudden reactive actions out of frustration that can temporarily derail your intended life path where you want to end up because you react. It's like knee-jerk kind of kickback that really gets you off the track. This energy does serve as a powerful catalyst as well. If we choose to consciously take action at this time, this aspect, if we're wise about our action, can give us the grit that we need to break free from old karmic loops and stagnant patterns that have just got to go. So it is uncomfortable, this week's energy. The events triggered by this square act as a cosmic alignment check, like we're bringing our car in to check its oil. Well, that's what this universe is doing. This universal energy is doing to our journey. Ultimately, it could push us back onto our true evolutionary path now. So, what can we expect with these wild energies unfolding this week individually? Let's check it out now as we look at the forecast for all signs. Oh, Sagittarius, you know what? The 7th house is the mirror house. It reflects back to us. It holds everything that It holds everything you are that you haven't yet claimed, projected outward and usually onto the people that are closest to you. This is where Uranus is making a conjunction with Mars this week and squaring the nodes. It's diabolical and it's going to shake your tree in the house of relationships. This is going to shake up partnerships, marriages, committed contracts, but it could also shake up your enemies in life. This is the house of open enemies. It could shake up your public relations and the shadow characteristics you tend to ignore in favor of the first house of the identity you are. When Uranus and Mars come together and they square the nodes here, something significant shifts in you personally because of what you're seeing in others around you, but also something shifts in your key one-on-one relationships. So it could look like somebody coming into your life and a sudden commitment forming, and it'll be karmic if it does. It could look like a commitment, a contract, a business partnership, even a marriage suddenly ending out of the blue. It could look like a dramatic change in terms of the alliances that you've made. The business connections and partnerships you were leaning on. They might come to an end now, or they might drop in a powerful way. But because Sagittarius, every planet in the 7th, aspects by mirror opposition the 1st, whatever happens out there is directly confronting something in here. The nodes make this so fated at this time. This is a relational turning point. It was always coming. It was karmic. It's what the soul signed up for in this lifetime. What you're breaking free from is the version of relating that required you to hand over your autonomy, who you are, and give the control of your life to other people. If that's what you've done, it's time to take it back. It's time to say no more. All the agreements where you handed over your autonomy, the agreements that were spoken or unspoken that kept you small. This disruption, it's going to feel quite exposing and probably quite public because this is the house of everybody out there. But the real work is internal. You're reclaiming, Sagittarius, the parts of yourself that you have been giving over to other people. And because of that, you're going to learn to show up in partnership without codependency, without disappearing into it. And I've got to say, for Sagittarius people, this is easier than for some other signs. You can be thankful for that. But it's a necessary work that the universe wants to accomplish so that you can be interdependent in relationships, not codependent. And therefore, your relationships, if you can do that, will have a greater chance of flourishing because what Sagittarius wants in relationship more than anything else is freedom. So this energy is going to allow you to embrace freedom in relationship. Now, I'm not talking about sleeping around or, having multiple affairs or anything like that. I'm talking about you being able to be yourself fully and completely in relationship with others, all relationships, and showing up in authenticity and truth, making the relationship itself more real, more true, more authentic. My beautiful Sagittarius friends, if you are curious to understand exactly how these transits that I've just described, as well as all the others that are forming for you in the coming year, how they're going to affect you personally, then why not order a transiting planet report from Guiding Star Astrology? It's only $18. What could be more perfect than that?